Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play OpenTTD Episode 5. So it has been a couple months, so thank you for your patience. But we're back, and as promised, I'm going to be building this backbone hub over here. Now we can see the trains are backing up a little bit, just because we're in ancient times, 1906, so these trains are so slow that they just don't move enough cargo to get out of each other's way. So hopefully we can start to fix that in this episode. Now, I haven't played any OpenTTD in the last couple months, so hopefully this goes smoothly. But I do want to do a minimal number of cuts and try and explain what I'm doing, so it can sort of be like a tutorial. So I'm thinking we'll keep the existing tracks as a merge towards the east. So it'll be a right-hand turn there. And I'll realign this track a little bit. So hubs have three main components. They have they have the splits, the merges, and the connecting tracks in between. And within the connecting tracks you have the three left turns that you have to tangle around each other, which is a little bit tricky. The splits usually aren't too bad to do, but the merges are probably one of the hardest bits to do in an efficient way. Just wait for this train to move, realign this a little. I just want to have 4 tiles here. So the way I'm gonna, oops, wrong signal. The way I'm going to set this up is have a left turn for the connecting track, a left turn coming from the east, and then a left turn going towards the west. So then in this area below the current tracks, we'll have a bit of a left-hand drive there, and then we'll have a crossover to get it back to right-hand drive. So over here, we have the first left-hand turn. So I'm going to put down 4 bridges, have 2 for each track. And then on this side, set up the other 4 bridges for the westbound left turn. Let me actually raise this up so we can have that at a more suitable height. And then we can bring this up here, have the track go diagonally for the crossover. And this will be going up towards the west. I'm just going to do normal signals, normal block signals on all of that. And then we'll have these tracks cross over here. So let's see, something like this. Even out this land. Then let's see, raise this up so we can have room for the diagonal track. Do the same with this other track. I guess we can leave that down. And there we go. Add the signals, normal block signals for the synced bridges and everything else. And at this point, we have basically all the left turns done. Well, they're not connected, but you can see the left turn that goes towards the south, the left turn that goes towards the west, and then this track in the middle will be the straight track that goes towards the west, which is kind of like a left turn. All right, so let's build the splits now. So build the first one over here from the east. So one on the inside is pretty easy, just have to connect that up. And then need a bridge for the connection, for the outer connection to be able to connect to its bridges over here. So you can just do it like that and just send the track through. So there we go. That is this split. Just put normal block signals everywhere. Will work fine. Except for right here, because we need these two bridges to be separate blocks if we were to use block signals, but there's no room for a signal over here, so we have to use a path-based signal right there. And on the other end of this bridge, connect those up, make sure to have our normal block signals there as well. All right, and that split is done, nice and easy. All right, next we can work on this split here. So what I'm going to do with these existing tracks is they'll both be going towards the east, and then we'll reroute the other trains on the other tracks. But for now, we are just building around those trains. Let me quickly remove that. So I'm going to make some room for a split off here, I suppose. So both of these tracks will be going towards the north, and we want one of them to be able to cross over here somehow. So let's see. Need room for a bridge, maybe like this. So we can have double bridge like that. Oops. And then connect it up like this. Put our path-based signal there as well, but normal block signals everywhere else. So that connects that left turn, and then over here, this left turn is nice and easy. Though, as I said, we will reverse the direction of that track, so it looks kind of silly right now. All right. And then we just have one more split to consider, I guess, on this side over here. So, not much curvature to the land or anything, nothing to inspire me, so we can just, well, there's a little bit of a valley here. We can put a bridge somehow like this. Let's see. Have our two bridges like that. Connect them up. Realign this so we can keep those bridges in sync. Fill in normal block signals, and then it's easy to split off that path towards the left. That'll go up and merge with this left turn. All right. Spread this track out a little further. Guess we can have it go along here somehow. Doesn't matter too much at this point, but we'll need to merge these tracks together here somehow. Doing a bit of terraforming, probably more than necessary, but didn't quite connect there. All right, so that's not the most beautiful set of tracks ever, and that turn is too short, but we'll fix that when we set up this merge. So at this point, we have the 3 left turns, have the 3 splits, so we just need to do the 3 merges. So this one over here, we'll have to rebuild that, and I'm going to do that one last since there are trains in the way right now. So I guess we'll start over here. Can realign this too. So the way I think about merges, so in this particular situation, we have 4 tracks coming in and we want 2 tracks going out. So what we're going to have is 2 tracks are going to get priority. So trains on those tracks will get to go straight through without stopping. And then the other 2 tracks get choice. So they get to choose between the other 2 tracks, but they have to wait for a gap to appear. So the easiest way usually is to just have the outer 2 tracks be choice or get choice. I can mark those in yellow, I guess. So this track gets, this track gets priority, outer 2 tracks get priority, and then the inner 2 tracks can mix with each other and get choice between the 2 outer tracks. So can just build this up like this. Get rid of this maybe. Just built that, but destroying it. And then the tricky part is the inner two tracks have to mix. So let me actually move this down a little bit. Don't like that zigzag, not very pretty, but be all right. Maybe actually move this like so. So we want a little bit more room here to have the merging tracks come in. So each of these is going to get 2 merging tracks. So there's 2 for this one. And if I move this over a bit, then we can have 2 for this one. Or maybe indecisive, move this around again. Not really liking how this is laid out. Let's see. We need 2 tracks for the choice tracks. This track can, guess we'll go all the way up. Don't really like that. But if we just have like the way it currently is, we have a tile length 2 curve there, which isn't going to work. I'm trying to aim for 3. So maybe we should go up a little further. Something like this, maybe. I guess that works. All right. So you can see at this point we have the 2 yellow lines, which get priority, so they get to go straight through, and the 4 red tracks, which have to wait for the yellow line trains. So we want to connect up these red tracks, so one of them connects to this path and one of them connects to this path over here. Let me highlight those. There we go. So we already have these bridges here, and we can use them to our advantage. So I can move one of these bridges over, and then that will give this track over here, it'll give that track choice. So now trains coming over here can choose between these 2. And then this bridge can also act as the bridge for the choice coming from over here. Let's see. Figure out exactly how to align it. And then connect the other path up like so. All right, so there we go. Each of these red lines gets to pick between the 2 yellow lines. Now, one other thing we have to make sure of is that there is enough waiting space. So when a train is stopped and waiting for a yellow line train to pass, got to make sure that it's not blocking the other choice. So I know we have length 10 trains, so we can just count the number of tiles. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to need 1 more tile. So we can realign it like that maybe. Let's count that again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so that's perfect. It's going to end right there. So we're going to have to use a path-based signal just because the train's going to be blocking any block signal there. Count the other path. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that one's plenty long. If it's waiting there, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the last tile of the train will be right there. So it's not really even. Normally it's best to keep the 2 ends of the waiting bays near each other, but can't always do that. We can actually, let's try and realign it a little bit. We can see if we can get them a little closer together. So let's keep recounting. 7, 10 is right there. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think. Count one more time. A little bit tedious. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So it's going to end on this exact tile. So we got to use a path-based signal there. Whew. All right. Now we'll count the other route. This one looks a little bit easier. So we got 10 there. Though if it's stopped here, it'll be 10 right there. And on this side, 10 is right there at the end of the bridge also. So I guess we can just use block signals since neither of the trains in either waiting bay will interfere with the little split there. All right, so there we go. We got our first merge down. Not super pretty. Let me convert it back to normal railway. And we can continue the track along this way a little bit. And I will build the priorities as the final step. So I'll build all the merges before I start building priorities. And that's just because priorities, you can usually fit them around the other bits of track. But if for some reason you need space, it's best to build those last. All right, making steady progress. We have 2 more merges to do. So we'll do the one up here next. So like before, I'll have the outer 2 tracks be the prioritized lines. So we can do something like, I guess we'll just go up something like this and have this line come over as well. Have a little bit of a valley there. I'll try and build around it. Yep. So in general, you can pick which tracks get priority based on which ones you expect to get the most traffic. But in this case, not really sure which ones will get the most traffic, so I'm splitting it evenly. So if I thought, for example, most trains would be going east to west, I could give both of these lines priority and then both of these lines choice. But I'll just split it evenly and we can change it later if it becomes a problem at all. So then we need to have our split offs. I guess let me do it like this, maybe. So those will be the 2 merges on that side. And on this side, you can have them like this. But at this point, it looks kind of tight. See if that's enough space for a train. Let's go ahead and start counting. 2 plus 5 is 7. So actually we have plenty of room back here, so we can move this back a little. So okay, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 will be right there. So we can split it right there, and that'll be good. So I'll use a entry signal and 2 exit signals. All right, and then this side will be coming from over here. Let's see if I can fit this in somehow as well. It's just kind of tricky with this bridge right here. I don't really want to use this bridge because at this point, trains are going to have just 3 different choices. I sort of want them to come back together before they have to make their choice between which of these 2 output tracks they're going to take. But it looks like there might not be enough room for that. You can have the split right here, but this doesn't look like, yeah, that's not even close to enough waiting bay space for a full train. So I could try and move this up, which is probably the best thing to do. So we need a little bit more room on the right. Move this over. You can see a lot of this is just sort of moving things very slowly to make room for other things. All right, so we can have the merge way up here, plenty of room. Then on this side, we can align that up however we want. You can see these 4 tracks in the middle. These are going to be the choice lines, the deprioritized lines. So there's one, we can recount that. And then over here, we have a split like this. Is that going to be enough room? Probably not. That's just 7 there. So we can move this up even further. So if we want the last tile of the train to be there, that's 10. So we need a signal there. Merge will be right here, which is quite long. And then over here, we can just have a bridge. So one thing you might notice is that I'm not doubling the bridges for these choice sections. So normally, like over here, we have a doubled bridge. So this should handle a full line of trains, full dense line of trains. But over here, there's only a single bridge. And the idea is that half of the trains will choose this top route, and half of the trains will choose the bottom route. So it's already being split in half, so we don't need the full capacity here. So a single bridge should be fine. Now, sometimes I suppose you might end up needing a double bridge for your merger, but this will be fine, I'm sure, for now at least. So we have 8 there, 9, 10, so this one barely gets in the way of the other line, so we're going to have to move this up 1. So then 10 is right here. So we'll use a path-based signal there, since this train will be inside of that block. Okay. Let's realign those signals, realign these signals, put entry signals to prepare for the priorities. And then as well here and here. And then we can recount these waiting bays. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 is right here. And then sometimes you can make the waiting bays a multiple of the number. So 10 goes right there actually. If it was to hold 2 trains, let's count this side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that'd go right on the bridge. So then we couldn't have any space for a waiting bay right there. I think that's what I'm going to do. So we'll have waiting bay for 1 train on the left and 2 trains on the right, just because that's how the track lengths worked out. And we have to use a path-based signal there because this train is going to be blocking this block here. Hopefully this makes some sense. I know it's really complicated and I'm probably going too fast for people to get a good understanding. Yeah, so sorry about that, I guess. But hopefully this serves as like an introduction to backbone hubs and not the, the final reference version. And I do want to make some proper tutorials at some point that actually explain everything in detail. But for this, I'm just trying to build for my Let's Play. All right, so that is our second merge done. Convert it back to normal tracks and add those signals. One more merge to go, just this one, and the trains are in the way, so first we're going to have to divert the trains to the new tracks we just built. So I'm going to convert these doubled up lines just back to a single line and then connect them up somehow to the old lines we have. So just connect it up like this will be fine. And then So now trains will be able to take this left turn over these bridges, so we can start sending trains this way. And I'll just combine them back into one there. And we can connect it up like this. Now they also need to go across this way. So I stop that train, make sure it doesn't get lost. Get a little jam for a sec. Gotta build quickly. I'll connect this one up over here somehow. Alright, so now trains will have choices for both west and southbound. So we can let this train move. By the way, I'm control clicking to stop trains. Very convenient. And then this line is ready to be converted. So I'll start removing signals here. Yep. And I guess we can disconnect this as well. And then very carefully remove all the signals on that line using the red control drag. Now we can see our trains using the new tracks there. Alright, so then this track as well can be disconnected. And we can reverse all the signals on this line. Alright, so everything is flowing now. Some trains are moving through the new backbone hub. Let me go ahead and reverse these signals on that line and the other one over here. Alright, so that is done now. So at this point we can see what this merge is going to be. We have our 4 lines coming in, 2 lines going out, and we also have some trains that are still going to be running on these tracks, so we'll have to work around them. So I guess I'll do the same thing as before. We'll have the outer 2 tracks get priority. Let me stop these trains. So we can work with this. So we have a bridge there. I'm going to move it over 1 tile. So then this track can split off into 2. It's 2 choices, something like this. Moving this track over for some room. So we have our 2 choices like that. This track over here has 1 choice to the left like so. Just see how much space this needs. This probably isn't going to be enough space for waiting bays. And then rebuild that bridge. The other split can be over on this side. There we go. And we clearly don't have enough room here. So I'll move this over again. Give us a little more room. Flatten this out. And we can merge these lines together, something like that. Alright, so I'm going to let these trains move again, and we can see how much room we're going to need for these waiting bays. So this is clearly not long enough for a train here. So I'm going to, I guess we'll move this merge further down. Something like that. I guess we should also connect this up. Too slow. Gotta wait for these giant slow trains to go by before I can build these tracks. Oh, there's a signal in the way. Okay, there we go. Move that merge down here somewhere, something like this. So you can see that train splitting off. Add some signals temporarily. Make sure that these blocks don't intersect with each other, interfere with each other. Okay, let's count this again. So got 1, Oh, our second train. God bless. All right, we can finally get slightly faster trains. Yes, I'll take that exclusive use. Okay, so continue working. 1 plus 5 is 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to need 2 more tiles. So this is already at the shortest curve it can be. So move it out like this. Uh-oh, that train's trying to come through. I'm just slowly moving everything to a point where the numbers work out. All right, looks like these trains are all jammed up. Yep, okay. So let's count it again. Count it again. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 3 more. Somehow that made it worse. Okay. So keep moving it, I guess. We can realign it a little. I guess we're going to need more room over here for the second westbound line. So we can realign these tracks up here on the hill a little more. Did not need to terraform that, oh well. Okay, so that looks fine. And this is where we're sort of starting to intersect with this future sideline hub over here. So that is going to be a bit of a pain. Let me just connect these tracks up so trains can get to where they're going. Connect this one up as well. Okay, that works. Though we do need this connection. So I guess have a bridge over here. We need a connection for this so trains can still reach that sideline hub area. Connection over here. Connection on the other side as well. Not the prettiest thing ever, but it'll work temporarily. And then we can switch these trains over to using these new tracks over here. Stop that train before it tries to go. Flatten this out. Connect this up. And get rid of the old line. Just so we have more room to work with for our merge. All right, you can go now. Ooh. So then we got this line here. Plenty of room to merge it however we feel like. Okay, there we go. Now this definitely should be enough space. So 8, oh, maybe exactly enough space. So 1, 2, plus 8 is 10. Okay, so it's exactly enough space. So once again, we're going to have to use a path signal there because the train's going to end right on that block tile. Then on this side, we don't have enough room anymore, of course. So move everything over a little bit as usual. Okay, you can go, train. Did I stop this train? No, it was just waiting for the signal. Okay, trains in the way everywhere. All right, come on, get moving. I guess I'll just stop these ones so they don't get in the way. So, get rid of this. Move this forward a bit. Now this doesn't really work. So you can see we have these two merges in a row, so we can't put signals on these. So that's going to be a signal gap. And it'd probably be fine, but it's sort of ugly. So what you can do is, let's see. I mean, you can just have this merge a little bit early, but that's not going to be enough room. This also is not enough tiles. Okay, so that's not good. Because that was a length 2 curve when I wanted length 3 for everything. So let's rebuild that again. Okay. How much space is that now? I guess this one matters. 1, 2, plus 7 is 9, 10. Okay, so it's still exactly enough. Okay, so now we have a bit more room on this side as well. So that'll be good. We can merge the tracks together like so, and then we can have our room for a signal there. Sweet. Let these trains go. Hopefully this all fits. So we have 3, 6. Let me realign this. 3 plus 5 is 8, 9, 10. So that's good. And then over here, 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 4 is 10. So last tile's right there. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And then let me move this one forward a little bit, since the train could be waiting right here, in which case 4, 5, 6, the end of the train will be right there. So that is perfect. And then these ones are deprioritized. All right, sweet. So that is that merge done as far as I can tell. Yes. All right, sweet. Okay. Now we have to, see, missing some signals here. Now we have to build the priorities. Start out with the first priority over here. We can, let's see. Oops, wrong signal. Even out these signals a little bit. I can remove that one. That train stopped, so we don't have a crash there. Very important. Put our combo signal to chain backwards. Let this train get out of the way. Chain backwards here. Make the priority nice and long. Stop this train. Signal gap there. Make this priority nice and long. Can make a really long chain right there. Start that train. Connect up this loop. There we go. You can see priority is working. Pretty long. Maybe 8 tiles or something. Since our trains are so long. So that is one priority done. Then I'll do this one. Let's do it like this actually. Combo signal. Loop to chain backwards. And just continue going backwards a bit. That should be fine. Not quite as long, but doesn't really matter. Just adjust them if it ever becomes an issue. That merge is done, and then we can move on to this one over here. So this is just going to have that as the deprioritized line. And then this is a little bit tricky. Since we have these bridges here, it's tricky to build priorities across these bridges. Especially with the spacing. So what you normally can do is make this a path-based signal. So then these two bridges form a single block and then chain backwards. So we could have like exit signals here, combo signal there, and then if that signal wasn't there, there we go. If that signal wasn't there, then you can see this will look backwards at this whole pair of bridges. You don't actually need both of these just since this is one block because of the path signal. But now we have a signal gap over here, so it's just not quite aligned right. So I'm going to, I guess, we can move it up a bit, move it a little closer, I guess. Well, actually, this needs to be length 3 for the turn, so I guess I'll move it up here. So then I have to recount the waiting bays a little bit. Just gonna have one kind of combo signal there. Doesn't quite align. Combo signal there. Go up here, and then chain backwards like that. So that will make the whole pair of bridges prioritized. That is a little bit longer than probably it should be. 13 tiles is a little bit long. But again, we can adjust that if it becomes an issue at all. So then we count. Yeah, so that's still going to stop on the bridge. Other path. 9, 10. Last train will be there. Or 8, 10, or there, I guess. Okay, so yeah, there's not enough room for anything, so just leave it like that for one waiting bay. Yeah. Can add some signals on this line. 5, 7, and 10. So that goes right there. And add these priorities here. Lots of space on this one. No problems here. Just chain back with some combo signals and an exit signal at the end. There we go. So 2 merges down, 1 to go. Last one up here, missing some signals there. And again, just gotta chain some combo signals backwards. Move this here since I can't connect it on the slope. Loop back. Realign some signals. Combo signal chain backwards. And there's 2 signals there. Not necessary. Just made those signals extra dense, but that's perfect. I mean, that's fine. Do the same thing on the other side. Just chain some combo signals backwards. And slope there. And that's plenty long. That's probably longer than it should be actually, so I'll remove that last chain. Or we can just get rid of this and just make this a exit signal. Alright, so that is both of those lines prioritized. Missing some signals over here. And at this point, Backbone Hub is basically done. Barring any signals that are missing, so here we go, Backbone Hub 1. And I put 2 spaces in front of the sign, so on the sign list, it'll always show up on the top, since spaces are sorted before most of the other characters. Alright, so while we were doing that, several years have passed, 3 years. Still have lots of traffic on this section since there's only 1 track in each direction. Backbone Hub has 2 tracks in each direction, so we're going to have to go through and upgrade everything, and we're going to have to build this sideline hub as well. So there's still going to be traffic over here where these trains are merging together. I took a look around to check on all of our industries, and most of them are doing fine without much waiting cargo, except for oil down here, which has few trains worth waiting, but I'm not going to add any more trains right now, just because it's sort of jammed up here, and any new trains will just get stuck in the jam and it's not going to actually move any more cargo. We first need to upgrade the lines. So that's what we'll be doing in the next episode, probably building the sideline hub, doubling up these lines, maybe upgrading to that new locomotive that came out. So to summarize, we built this backbone hub with the connecting tracks, splits, and the merges. And merges, especially for this backbone hub, were really tricky just because our trains are so long, so we need a lot of space for them. And you can see I didn't quite count this right, since a train could stop right here and block that, so I'm going to remove that signal. And, you know, we'll find some more problems like that, small things that get fixed as they create problems. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to leave those down in the comments, and I'll see you next time.